Tonight on Coyote News, students enjoyed having no school Monday, but find out the real reason for the holiday. And the USD Alumni Association launched a major part of their Onward campaign. I'm Brent Seehofer.
And I'm Kathleen Surrey. It's time for midterms. Find out how you can relieve your stress and learn some study tips from other students.
Plus, the USD volleyball team loses at home for the first time in 14 games. But the swimming and diving team started off their season with a win. But first, the headlines with Delaney Shank.
A second healthcare worker in Texas has been diagnosed with the Ebola virus and is being moved to an Atlanta hospital. The hospital has successfully treated 2 other Ebola patients. The worker also cared for Eric Duncan, the first U.S. Ebola death. With a temperature of nearly 100 degrees, the worker boarded a commercial jet Monday, potentially spreading the virus. Nina Pham, the first healthcare worker in Dallas diagnosed with Ebola, is improving. Gas prices are on the decline, dropping below $3. Although the average price in the state of South Dakota is $3.19, gas near I-29, right outside of Vermillion, is only $2.92. If nationwide average, which is currently $3.19, dips below the $3 mark, it'll be for the first time since 2010. The average price in April was $30.70. And those are your headlines.
Thanks, Delaney. The Vermillion Police Department has released an incident report from Dakota Days weekend. From Friday through Sunday, VPD responded to 163 incidents, including 46 traffic and 34 non-traffic related alcohol violations. Other happenings included 4 DWI traffic incidents, 4 noise complaints, 3 burglaries, 4 thefts, and 1 assault. The day with the highest number of incidents was Saturday, with a total of 83. On Monday, the Cross Media Council is hosting a debate featuring the District 17 legislative candidates. So far, 4 participants have confirmed they'll be attending, including Ray Ring, Marion Sorlian, Michelle Maloney, and Art Rush. The debate will also include students from USD's College Democrats and Republicans, the Student Government Association, and the Political Science League. The debate will be televised live here on Cable Channel 21 Monday night at 7.
Most students didn't question the long weekend after Dakota Days. However, this Monday was an important marker in South Dakota history. Coyote News' Victoria Harmony explores the values of Native American Day.
Native American Day is more than just a day off from school. SGA President Tyler Tordson explains the history of this federal holiday.
Native American Day is very unique, especially in South Dakota. 1990 was the year of reconciliation from Governor George S. Mickelson, and he was a former alumni too here at USD. Just having a day that we can reflect on the large Native American population in South Dakota, the rich history and culture of our state and of our people.
Native Student Services are involved with more than just educating students at USD. Tordson says they're a family on campus.
Native Student Services has essentially been a home away from home for me. They do a really good job of bringing in Native American students, and they do a variety of activities year-round to keep the students here, keep them engaged.
South Dakota is one of 2 states that currently celebrates Native American Day, the other being California with its variation of Indigenous Peoples Day.
Other states like California, I know Seattle and Minneapolis, Minnesota, they're trying to start having Indigenous Peoples Day or American Indian Day. I think it's a trend that is going to continue, and I think that it's something that all states should consider.
The Native Student Services was involved in the annual Wachipi this past Saturday and will be looking to host more events this November for Native American History Month. For Coyote News, I'm Victoria Harmony.
And now Coyote News' Megan Card is live in the muck with David Postumus, a faculty member with the Native Studies program. Megan?
Thanks, Brent. The Native Studies program has had a rocky start since it began in 2006, but I'm here with one of its newest faculty members to talk about the future of the program. Thanks for joining me with you here today. Can you tell me about what are some of the top priorities to reinvigorate the program?
Well, thanks for having me. First of all, we need to increase enrollment. For this program to be the vibrant program that we think it can be and should be, we need to get everyone involved. So my colleague, Dr. Boxer, and I have been working on revamping and revitalizing the curriculum to kind of broaden the scope. And we really need to get people involved. That's the #1 priority right now.
With 4 majors and 8 minors currently in Native Studies, how do you get more students interested?
Well, we just need to be visible on campus. We need to be involved at the Native American Cultural Center. And actually this spring we're going to be hosting an event, community and campus-wide, where we kind of get together and talk about the Native American and Indigenous Studies program here at USD and the future and the vision for the program.
What would you say is the most major challenge you'll be facing the next year or so?
Well, we've come in to kind of right a ship that's been off course and kind of coasting for a while. And so the big issue for us right now is establishing continuity and letting students know that we're here, we're going to be here for the long haul, and we want this program to work. And there's just great support here at USD for that. And so I mean, that's
Thank you.
number one.
Yeah, thanks. That was Dave Posthumus, one of the newest members to USD's Native Studies program. Live from the Muck, I'm Megan Card.
Thanks, Megan. Coming up after the break, find out who was presented this year's Al Newharth Award and what building on campus was renamed to celebrate its 100th anniversary. Stay tuned.
What made you pair up with the sound to show your school spirit?
Go for the up and under, and that one will fall forward.
91.1 Coyote Radio.
USD has launched the public phase of a campaign to raise $250 million for the university. At a Friday press release in the Al Newharth Media Center, members of the USD Foundation announced the Onward campaign has completed the leadership phase, which raised $134 million. This money will support new physical additions to the university, as well as scholarships for students like Brooke Fisher.
It's almost overwhelming to have somebody who is willing to believe in you and to invest their money into your education. And also, it is awesome to have the financial help. Medical school is very expensive, and a little bit of financial help goes a long ways.
Goals of the Onward campaign include the construction of a new sports complex next to the Dakota Dome, expansion of the National Music Museum, and improvements to the Law School and Fine Arts Center. The USD Foundation also hosted a red tie gala Friday night for students, faculty, and alumni.
The 100th annual Dakota Days saw the return of one tradition to USD. The Al Newharth Award for Excellence in the media was presented on campus for the first time since Newharth's death in 2013. President Jim Abbott says traditions like this help honor those who came before us.
How many of you in the audience in your life had some personal...
Even though Al Newharth is gone, his spirit will always be here at USD. And I can't think of a better way to honor him than to each year present this award.
This year's honoree was Peter Pritchard. He worked closely with Newharth in founding USA Today and the museum.
Peter embodies the qualities and the principles that this award stands for. And throughout his career, he has both preached and practiced excellence in journalism.
The award ceremony was recorded and produced by USD Media and Journalism students. The program airs on South Dakota Public Television in November.
Dakota Days isn't the only century celebration on campus this year. October 10th marked the 100th anniversary and renaming ceremony of the university's Pardee Laboratory. The building was originally dedicated to Dr. Arthur Pardee for his contribution to USD's chemistry department, and now Dr. Charles Estee shares the honor. Pardee mentored Estee, leading him to dedicate over 50 years of service to the Department of Chemistry and the College of Arts and Sciences. The renaming and rededication of the lab honors the relationship between the two men and their contributions to the university. The building has been completely renovated and provides the Department of Chemistry with more modern resources for teaching and research. And with the semester halfway over, some students might be ready to be done with college. On this week's blog, Abby Pierce thinks students should enjoy their time at USD.
When I was a freshman, I couldn't wait to not be a freshman. I wasn't a big fan of being the youngest on campus and not knowing what was going on all the time. I used to think that 4 years was a long time and wished away my college career. But now I'm here to tell all of the underclassmen, do not do this. There is a reason that people say that college is the best time of your life. Although homework and studying for exams can be a drag, it's better than a full-time job, in my opinion. This is the last time in your life where you're your only responsibility. Do things that make you happy. Figure yourself out. Have fun, take advantage of all the opportunities, and do not wish your time away. With that being said, I hope you all took advantage of the opportunities during last week's 100th Dakota Days, especially tailgating. It was one for the books. But seriously guys, it seems like just yesterday I was celebrating homecoming as a freshman, and now I only have one left. So here's some extremely valuable advice for freshmen. Enjoy all the things that make you freshmen. Live it up in the dorms. When else can you live in such close proximity to people that could become your lifelong friends? Eat as much Commons and Qdoba as you can. You've already paid for it, you might as well. Upperclassmen might hate me for saying this, but go ahead and push the button for the crosswalk on Cherry Street when it's busy. We all did it at some point. Wear your lanyard around your neck. And most importantly, some advice for all college students, always go to events where you're offered free food. Take advantage of these 4 years of your life. For the Coyote Blog, I'm Abby Pierce.
Thanks, Abby. Coming up after the break, find out how students are helping out the Humane Society while relieving some stress. But first, learn how students can go green in the dining center. Stay with us.
Student and staff who eat in the marketplace now have the option for new to-go boxes that are healthy for the environment. These green boxes are currently located by the salad bar and supply a cheaper and reusable food container option.
So you can go and pick up your box for $4.99, as I said, and then you can fill it up with your favorite salad. And then when you're finished, you can either take it home and clean it yourself, or you can bring it back and they will clean it for you and give you a new one. And the reason for the new boxes is really to move toward our sustainability initiatives. This is one of the things that we'll be doing this fall and looking to do other things very shortly.
The Sustainability Initiative includes the use of red plates in the Commons and continues to drive the university to use more low-impact containers. Greaves says that these containers will expand to other food options in the marketplace, such as the Wok and the Penne Pizzeria.
USD may soon offer a master's degree in principal preparation. The program will address specific challenges South Dakota principals face in rural settings. Students will be able to apply their learning in field exercises at participating school districts. The Board of Regents announced the specific plans last week, and if finalized, the program could start as soon as next summer. Each fall, the university puts on an internship and career fair for students. Coyote News' Jackie Hendry is live in the muck with Cassandra Gerard, the internship coordinator for USD, to talk about how students should be preparing for the career fair next week. Jackie?
Thanks, Kathleen. Academic and career fairs are nothing new to USD, but this semester, the Academic and Career Planning Center has a few new aspects for the fair. Thanks for joining us today. First of all, I know there's some new social media aspects that we're including in the fair this semester. What can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. Well, this year we are going to utilize a Twitter feed in the pit lounge. We're going to have students and employers tweeting questions before, during, and after the fair. And our hopes are just to generate more excitement, kind of a takeaway piece for students. If they think of questions after the career fair that they didn't get a chance to ask while they were there, it's kind of going to be a place where they can do that. We're also going to have a photo booth for people to take fun photos. So props, it'll say, I got an interview, that kind of stuff, and who doesn't like to see pictures of themselves? So yeah, our hopes is just to try something new, get both the employer and the students talking more and interacting. So I think it's going to be something that's great.
Great, and finally, what are some resources for students who might not be confident in writing a resume or making a portfolio for this sort of event?
Oh, perfect. Well, that's where I come into play. I would love it if any student would stop by and visit me. I actually have a table in the muck from 11 to 1 all this week and next week. You can stop by with your resumes. I will critique them if you don't know how to do a resume. I have cover letters and I have worksheets that tell people how to write resumes and cover letters. I can also sign you up for a mock interview. Anything that you can think of that would be career related, I am going to be there to help. We can also take professional photos for your social media profiles. So they can do an array of things, as well as come and visit me at my office, which is in the ID Weeks Library, room 100B. And I should also mention too, for the hashtag, it's Yotes Get Jobs. So
great, thanks so much. Yeah. That was Cassandra Gerard with the Academic and Career Planning Center talking about the Career and Internship Fair a week from tomorrow in the second floor of the Muck. Live in the Muck, I'm Jackie Hendry.
Thanks, Jackie. Midterms are approaching, and that can add to an already stressful life of a college student. On this week's Yote Report, Nicole Griffith shows us how students can relieve that stress with a furry friend.
The Heartland Humane Society hosted its annual Tails and Trails last week. Humane Society dogs of all sizes were brought to students at Prentice Park who were there to walk or even just play with the animals. The society cares for up to 400 dogs and cats each year. Director Carrie Hatchesky says the event is beneficial for students.
The idea is really to just bring dogs onto campus or in Prentice Park this year, have an opportunity for the USD students to get out of the dorms and get out of their houses on a Sunday and just be able to mingle with the dogs, a little stress reliever for them, and good for the dogs too. They always like to get together and have a good time.
An organized walk around Prentice Park brought many students out of their homes for the afternoon, but that's not the only way to help.
This is Bella. Her parents have been proud foster owners with the Heartland Humane Society, which has helped rescue over 1,500 dogs in the past 8 years. You can volunteer your time by becoming a foster parent today.
Besides fostering a dog, you can always groom, hang out with, or just walk the animals. To pair up with a furry friend, visit the Humane Society's website. For the Yote Report, I'm Nicole Griffith.
Coming up after the break, the women's swimming and diving team scored a win over Mankato last week, and a look at 2 intramural sports are a big hit with students. Stay tuned.
Excuse me, ma'am, what is this?
Obstacle course training. It's how we prepare our staff to get you the news first. Not bad. The Blonde, first to the news, first to you. The student's voice for 125 years.
Tonight on Coyote Sports, the women's swimming and diving team records their first win of the season, but the volleyball team suffers their first home loss in 2 years. I'm Charlie Daldorf.
And I'm Erica Arpan. USD intramural sports are on the rise, and sports commentator Grant Bosiacki discusses what's behind the resurgence of the Dallas Cowboys and Kansas City Royals. But first, the headlines. Delaney?
ESPN's Bill Simmons returned to the airwaves today after his 3-week suspension. Simmons dared the network to punish him after calling NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell a liar on air. Simmons was suspended and docked 2 weeks' pay, although he makes over $5 million per year. Simmons' contract is up next year. The LA Dodgers named Andrew Friedman as their new president of baseball operations. Friedman resigned as the Rays GM yesterday, a position he's held since 2005. Friedman will be going from one of the smallest payrolls in the league to the largest. Ned Colletti, who has been the Dodgers GM since 2005, will remain with the team as a senior advisor. The San Francisco Giants took a 2-1 series lead over the St. Louis Cardinals, scoring the winning run on an errant pitching throw in the 10th inning. The Kansas City Royals continue to roll, winning 2-1 and now lead the series 3-0. They're 1 win away from making it to the World Series. And those are your headlines.
The USD volleyball team's 14-match home win streak ended last night with a loss to Iowa State. Both Coyote and Cyclone fans sold out the Den for the non-conference matchup. The Coyotes kept the first 2 sets close with 5 service aces in the first game. The teams tied 11 times during the second game, but USD lost both sets 26-24, despite trying to make a comeback late in the third set. The Coyotes were unable to send the match to a 4th set, losing it 25-17. The Coyotes will return to conference play on Friday when they face SDSU in Brookings. Although it was Dakota Days, the USD football team suffered their first home loss of the season against Northern Iowa. Quarterback Kevin Earl returned for the Coyotes, connecting on 3 third-down conversions on the very first drive of the game, including this one to tight end Aaron Ramsey. Trevor Bauma would go on to score from 18 yards out, giving the Yotes a quick 7-0 lead. Bauma finished the game with 70 rushing yards. The Panthers led 10-7 at halftime, and the Coyotes never recovered, losing 27-16. The Coyotes fall to 2-4 on the season and look to get back on track this Saturday at Missouri State. The game will be televised live on ESPN3.
The USD women's swimming and diving team celebrated a win over Minnesota State in the Coyotes season opener. The team won 11 of 16 events Friday during their victory over Mankato. Freshman Cassidy Cornell recorded a pair of wins in the breaststroke events.
Our coach Jason, he sent out a scouting report, and so we're able to look at the times ahead of time just to see like what we have to go in order to beat the girls that are coming from Mankato. And basically for me, I just have to make sure I'm really tight on my turns. I'm a breaststroker, so tight on my turns and my pullouts, and just work the in between the walls as well.
Head coach Jason Mahold credits the team's success to strength in numbers.
We go very deep in almost every event. We should pick up a lot of points on the tail end of the competition. Breaststroke for us, diving for us, and distance freestyle. I think those events we should do really well in.
Now from here on out till the end of November, we have a meet every weekend, so it'll be lots of fun.
The Coyotes travel to Grand Forks this Friday night to take on North Dakota at 6 o'clock.
The women's soccer team isn't the only kind of soccer popular on campus. With the Wellness Center offering more than 15 intramural sports, outdoor soccer is one sport that has grown significantly over the past 2 years. Sean Clark's in his second year as the Assistant Director of Activities at the Wellness Center. He says students continue to ask about outdoor soccer opportunities, and several changes were made to improve the game.
We're going 11 on 11, and some students were having some to forfeit games because it was always hard to find players. And we decided to go with the 7 on 7 format. The field's shorter, the game's a lot quicker. It's a whole lot easier to score a goal, so it makes it a little bit more exciting.
One intramural athlete says he enjoys the competitive aspect and reliving the glory days.
But playing against people you don't know and coming out and having teams and everything, that's a big deal about it. So, you know, it's like reminiscing a little bit of high school and those favorite days you had.
Clark says referees are trained with the classroom sessions and practice games, but senior Jace Holzer says he's learned everything he needed to know through FIFA, the video game. There are currently 22 soccer teams participating in intramurals. That number's up from 16 teams last year and just 10 from 2 years ago.
Another intramural sport, flag football, is into the postseason, and students are on the road to the Dakota Dome. Teams are now playing single elimination games after the start of the playoffs last week. This year, there will be a change to one of the rounds. In the past, the semifinal round has been played in the Dome. However, this season, students will have to play one more game in the fall weather. Only the championship game will be played inside. Even though the season's nearing its end, students can already sign up for flag football again next fall.
In this week's sports commentary, Grant Boziacki talks about the hottest team in baseball, along with both arguably the best team in football.
Sports are always unpredictable. That's the beauty of them. But wow, that does not change the fact that we are talking about the Kansas City Royals being one game away from the World Series. This was a team that just a couple of weeks ago had professional sports' longest playoff drought, 29 years. And then flip it over to football. The Cowboys, they're always getting talked about, but this time it's because they're actually good. I've got one explanation for this madness. Both teams have gone back to the basics. For the Royals, it's their devastating bullpen. Last night, their pen threw 4 hitless innings. Filthy. Kelvin Herrera, Wade Davis, Greg Holland. Once it gets to the 7th inning, you're going to see these three guys, and my money's on them shutting the door on you. This has really been their blueprint all season long. As for the Cowboys, look no further than the big boys up front. Tyron Smith, Travis Frederick, and Zach Martin, all three first-round picks from the last 4 years, and it's really paved the way for DeMarco Murray to have a historic first 6 games of the season, rushing for over 100 yards in every game. Bullpens, offensive lines, definitely not the most glamorous areas in football and baseball, but hey, what's always glamorous is winning, and these teams are really just getting the job done, and these are the biggest reasons why. It's only a matter of time before other teams start stealing a page or two out of these now successful team scripts. For Coyote Sports, I'm Grant Boziacki.
Coming up next, learn what it means to be a Coyote from the women's soccer team and find out how students study for midterm exams. Stay with us.
Not getting your message across clearly? Contact Coyote Creative for all your promotional needs.
We're halfway through the semester, and that means midterms are quickly approaching.
On this week's Out and About, we asked students how they prepare for midterms.
I don't.
A whole bunch of Adderall. A bunch of it.
A bunch of Adderall. Doing a lot of math problems.
Red Bull and a couple other energy drinks. It works out pretty well so far.
Spent a lot of time studying in the library. Practically sleeping there if I got to.
I go over all the lecture notes and read the chapters that were assigned.
When are they?
I wouldn't say I necessarily cram study, but a little bit. And then usually that followed by crying. I usually tend to cry a little bit, so I don't know, that's what gets me through.
I usually don't. I just wing them.
I do a lot of sleeping and a lot of eating, and I probably should do more studying.
Lots of studying. I'm going back through a lot of the notes, a lot of the readings, and doing a lot of the problems from the books and stuff. And I take a lot of notes in class with discussion bases, and I look through those notes, refresh my memory on it, and all of that stuff.
As we continue our What It Means to be a Coyote series, USD's soccer team tells us why they're proud to be Coyotes and what it's like to be part of a team.
With the help of fans and teammates, USD's soccer team knows what it means to be a Coyote.
To be a Coyote means that you improve yourself by improving others.
I think it means growing fur and howling at the moon.
Being a Coyote means you're bigger than something that's more than just yourself, and being a part of the team is something special. You automatically have friends, and you have people who care about you and are there for you.
USD students are encouraged to cheer on their fellow Coyotes. The team agrees fans get them motivated.
I think we do a good job. I mean, I love having fans on both sides of the field.
So by supporting other USD events, they're actually supporting themselves.
We love having fans. They're nice and loud, and it keeps our energy up.
It makes you more excited. You have people to play for rather than an empty sideline or just your team.
Grab your Coyote gear and support the USD soccer team. Show other schools what it means to be a Coyote.
Many people lock their doors at night to protect themselves from burglars or other criminals. But what about from polar bears? On Friday in a small Alaskan village, a large polar bear wandered inside an 81-year-old woman's home while eating seal oil from a drum. Ruby Kaliak's part-time job is to keep polar bears away from people's homes on the Alaskan coast, and she was called to the scene. Kaliak carries a shotgun loaded with a beanbag and firecracker round, but she and a coworker shooed the bear away. Biologists say that as ice on the sea recedes, polar bears appear to be in the village to eat whale parts left by hunters. Well, that's all for Coyote News. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
Have a great night. We'll see you next time.